Elder Scrolls games have a wide variety of factions, from the Dark Brotherhood to the Fighters Guild and even the elusive Nightingales. High Rock has a chance to take some of these guilds and make them even better. What makes this province so unique is the amount of new and old factions we could possibly be seeing that you would not even know about if the Elder Scrolls 6 was set in another location. And what is up guys, Andrew from the Den here, and today we will be going over what we could be seeing from factions in the Elder Scrolls 6 if it were set in High Rock. There are a lot of different things that could happen, so if you are excited, make sure you hit that like button and drop a comment on what you want to see from factions in the Elder Scrolls 6. I go deeper into High Rock as a whole in my High Rock Quest predictions video, so if you missed that, link will be in the description box below. But with that being said, there's a lot to go over, so get comfy, grab that bottle of Blackbriar mead, and let's get right into the video. Starting off, we need to take a look at some of the staple factions that we have seen in almost every Elder Scrolls game. These include the Dark Brotherhood, Thieves Guild, Fighters Guild, and Mages Guild. Each takes on a different aspect of the game and are very unique in their own way. The first one we have is the group of assassins, also known as the Dark Brotherhood. Here's the thing about this one. According to lore in Skyrim, the Dark Brotherhood sanctuary in the city of Wayrest was destroyed, and as far as we know, that is the only one in the province of High Rock. This leaves a couple of options for Bethesda to go through with. We can either see the Dark Brotherhood built from the ground up, a hidden sanctuary that was not known at the time, or have an entirely new assassin faction to follow. In my opinion, I think it would be interesting to see the player help reform the Dark Brotherhood from where it was previously. Maybe at the start of the storyline we hear whispers of the reformation of the elusive guild. The player follows these rumors to an all-new sanctuary or the destroyed one in Wayrest. We join the Dark Brotherhood and begin to rebuild the renown of the once proud guild. I think this would be a unique story to tell because it would be about helping the faction return to its former glory. On the other hand, Bethesda could completely ditch the idea of the Dark Brotherhood and make an entirely new assassin guild. I think this option is less likely just because they are such a fan favorite, so even if we were to get a new faction, there will no doubt be Easter eggs to the Dark Brotherhood. What I find unique about creating a brand new one is that Bethesda is not tied to the ideals of the Brotherhood. They can really come up with some fresh ideas and make a fun and unique group that a lot of people will enjoy. High Rock is tied heavily to deceit, assassination, and has a lot of potential when it comes to factions like the Dark Brotherhood. Unlike the Dark Brotherhood, we do know that the Thieves Guild has somewhat of a presence in the medieval province. Even though we don't know much about what this specific faction has been doing in High Rock, there is still a lot of potential for an interesting questline. What makes them so unique is not the guild themselves, it's the location they are in. High Rock is known for its many cities and dense population. Just take a look at Daggerfall, which alone has over 100,000 people living within its walls. That means there are plenty of opportunities for thieving across the entirety of the province. I can really imagine the player being sent on a quest to steal valuable artifacts from some of the nobles at one of their parties, or having a sneak mission through one of the many castles during the night. As you can see, the possibilities are endless with the Thieves Guild, and I would love to see them return in the Elder Scrolls 6. Bretons are known for their affinity of magic, and a game set in High Rock would no doubt have some great factions within this specific region. Take the Mages Guild for instance. They are known to be very prominent and considered to be the largest faction from the main ones. It is said that they have many headquarters scattered across High Rock, and this could be interesting to see compared to what we got in Skyrim. They will no doubt have a much larger role, and magic factions in general will be expanded on greatly in the Elder Scrolls 6. Bethesda can take them in a lot of different ways though, so it will definitely be interesting to see what they come up with for the Mages Guild. The Fighters Guild has a unique situation within High Rock because even though they have some presence there, they are mostly overshadowed by knightly orders and other mini factions. Instead of having just the Fighters Guild, I would like them to expand out and possibly make some of these orders joinable. High Rock is tied heavily to fantasy and medieval times, so it makes a lot more sense to have plenty of knightly factions instead of one Fighters Guild. Even though it would be great to see the return of the Fighters Guild, if a game were set in High Rock, I doubt we will have them appear in a big way for the Elder Scrolls 6. What would these different night orders look like if we were to see them in High Rock? There are a ton of them out there, and each one could be a little different than the other. Maybe there is one that looks for dangerous quests around High Rock, or another that protects the common people. Bethesda has a lot of options when it comes to the night orders, and we could be seeing something very similar to Morrowind or Fallout. I imagine the player would be able to join all of them at the start of the questline, but get to a certain point and eventually you will have to pick sides. I would like to see something like this happen because it would create a lot of options and replayability for the Elder Scrolls 6. This would be the best decision to have, and hopefully some nightly orders will be joinable if we were to see a game set in High Rock. Vampires and werewolves are a staple to every Elder Scrolls game, and we will no doubt be seeing them in the next one as well. It really depends on how they will be interacted with in the Elder Scrolls 6 that matters. Skyrim took a big leap forward by bringing in the Volkihar clan and the companions as werewolves. If we were to see a game set in High Rock, I'd like to see lycanthropes in general getting a major upgrade. There are a lot of different types of were creatures that can be found in High Rock, and I'd like them all to be playable and maybe even having a faction surrounding them. Werewolves, werebears, and wereboars are all said to inhabit the region of High Rock, and I hope Bethesda improves them overall because there is a lot of potential with lycanthrope factions. Vampires, on the other hand, I thought were done really well in the Dawnguard DLC. I wouldn't want too much to change for them because already High Rock has a lot of potential for vampires lurking throughout the province. We would no doubt get some type of vampire castle, and hopefully we are able to join whatever clan is inside. I also want to talk about the Thalmor for a second because if a game were set in the province of High Rock, don't expect them to play that big of a role as you might think. There were a lot of hints in Skyrim of the possibility of a second Great War, and if this were to happen in the Elder Scrolls 6, High Rock would not be the place to do it. At the moment, the home of the Bretons is still under Imperial rule and is one of the furthest regions away from the Somerset Isles, which is the home of the High Elves. So to me, High Rock seems less likely for the Thalmor to have a big role in the story, but I do expect them to show up in some way, shape, or form. The last one I want to talk about are the orcs of the province. High Rock is home to the region of Hrothgar, which has been the seat of power for the orcs with the great city of Orsinium for generations. Sacked many times and built in different spots around the region of Hrothgar, the ruins of the past Orsiniums would still be there, so the exploration of these locations would be very intriguing to see what we find. The latest sacking of Orsinium saw the relocation of a new one in a place we don't know of just yet, but we suspect on the border between High Rock and Hammerfell in the region of Craglorn. The orcs have a lot of potential to be a major faction for the Elder Scrolls 6 and would have a lot of unique quests tied to this specific race. Seeing the way the orc culture works more in depth would be interesting because even though we had orc strongholds in Skyrim, they were not fleshed out as much as a game that has the home of the orcs would be like. So I expect that if we were to see Orsinium in the Elder Scrolls 6, or for that matter a large group of orcs in the Hrothgarian mountains, then they would no doubt play a major role in the next game. Factions are a major building block of every Elder Scrolls game. Without them, we would have the main storyline and some side quests to fill out provinces. From the Dark Brotherhood to the Mages Guild, there is a lot of potential for factions if we were to see a game set in High Rock. Elder Scrolls 6 has a chance to take all of these unique guilds to the next level, and I'm excited to see what Bethesda has in store for us. But that is all for me now though guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, comment any videos you want to see in the future, and I'll see you all next time.